Did you catch the Bischoff Lex Luger DDP interview?
Yes, where they did it live from, what was it, DDP's compound, I guess you would call it, whatever it is there that he's got in Atlanta. Yeah, where they talked about, well, right here with Lex is going into the Hall of Fame. And then I try. Professionally unprofessional. That's what we're going for here. Where they talked about Lex getting married, which I didn't know. That was pretty cool. Yeah, that was a good, what was it, like 2.5 hours? I had that on. Yeah, no, it took up a good chunk of my day yesterday, but I was glad to watch it. It was very, very engaging.
I liked, I know we talked about it off air, but I liked the Dusty Rhodes stuff they had.
Oh my gosh, yes. That to me, I mean, if anything tells you the genius of Dusty Rhodes was that story that Lex told where he was still green in the business about a year, and Dusty gave him, in less than 10 minutes, gave him the total package nickname, because I want you to have he told him, I want you to have the brains and the brawn and be the total package, baby, and the torture rack in that moment, which, I mean, Lex used that literally for his entire career since. Like, that's, I mean, people still call him the total package and the torture racks associated with him. And Dusty came up with that off the cuff in 2-3 minutes and then sent him out there. And man, like you said, if you listen to Dusty, good things will happen.
Yeah. Would you think the torture rack one is the most protected finish in wrestling, or was?
I mean, you don't think
anybody ever get out of it?
I was just gonna say, I didn't realize it at the time, but like I keep putting over the Wrestling Bios channel with Reliving the War because it's super entertaining stuff on YouTube and it's free, and the guy does a ton of great work. But when you think about it, like he just put out a specific episode about Lex beating Hogan for the title right before Hog Wild, where Hogan took it back. But he puts him in the torture rack twice. He put him in the torture rack in the pay-per-view the night before and that Monday Night show to beat him. You really, when you say it out loud, like, maybe did anybody get out of it? If they get out of it clean, that's the thing. Like, I'm sure somebody hit him in the ribs with a pipe or a shoe or hit him in, a low blow. But did anybody break out of the torture rack clean? That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't think anybody ever did. Like you said, I'm sure somebody came and hit him across the back, or
If somebody in the chat knows, let us know. Like, if there's a specific Nitro to watch, I will go and I will go through Peacock or YouTube or maybe the new WCW Vault page and try to figure that, because that's a really good question, George. I like that, because I remember, like, with what was it, Baron Corbin's finish for the longest time. Like, no one had kicked out of that till Drew did at Mania, and it was a big moment. Like, those things are really cool when that kind of stuff happens. But because even Lex kicks out of the big boot and the leg drop in that Monday Night Nitro where he beats Hogan for the title, but Hogan taps to that's a really good question. I like that. No, somebody in the chat will help us out. We've got some really good people in the chat coming back with good answers and good responses. So
yeah, you mentioned Prime Dusty. Unbeknownst to you, I'm working on getting somebody to come on with us that lived through Prime Dusty stuff.
I like that. I like the tease. That's well done. That's very professional. I like that.
Because it's a work, and I know. That's weird.
Well, we're not going anywhere. We're definitely going to keep doing this, and that, I feel like guests and interviews is going to kind of end up being part of it. Back to the Spaces situation you were talking about. I feel like that's the biggest compliments and comments I've got about the Spaces, is that it is just engaging. It's trying to be more of like a conversation. It's almost like a discussion show where, like, people can have differences of opinion, but we'll talk them out, as opposed to just screaming at each other and yelling obscenities, or worse sometimes, as we've heard of in these Spaces, or, bringing in people that are, I guess, somewhat famous in the space and just running the show and being jerks about it. Like, the only people that can mute or boot people are George and I in those. And so far, knock on wood, we haven't had to mute or boot anybody. But if we do, we're happy to. Like, we're trying to keep it as a fun, enjoyable space. So
yeah, spoiler alert, we have a little button that says mute chat.
Yeah, exactly. It gives us control. That's why we do it the way we do. And that's why the first thing you hear is me going, all right, let me make George co-host. Yeah, we try to take it. We're trying to have fun with it. So
okay. That's cool. All I had for you for the pregame. So